The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
A Jets insider says Malachi Corley is on the chopping block. We'll talk about the latest with the second-year Jet receiver and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, here on a Saturday. Welcome in, everybody. Please click the like button. Make sure you click the subscribe button and spread the word. We talk Jets each and every day, year-round on this channel. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. That's the place to be. If you want bonus content, your name added to the intro, access to exclusive events, discounts year-round in my merch store, and, of course, that Discord. That's the place to be if you're a true Asmaniac. Thanks to everyone who's on Patreon, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. When you sign up for the year, you get 10 raffle tickets automatically applied in whatever raffle we have going on that week. This week, a.k.a. on Monday's show, signed Joe Namath football, signed Darrelle Revis football, signed Wayne Corbett jersey, and a signed Kevin Mawai jersey are the top prizes in this week's Asmaniac raffle. Let's talk about the latest with the New York Jets. I was reading a story that ESPN Jets reporter Rich Cimini posted earlier today, and it really breaks down, I think, something that I've talked a lot about on the show. Malachi Corley, despite the fact he's only going into his second year, despite the fact he was the first pick of the third round, and we later learned that the Jets tried to trade up for Malachi Corley in the mid-50s of the second round, he's on the chopping block. Malachi Corley could be cut in training camp is essentially the genesis of the story. The headline from Cimini, Corley has lots to prove in second year. And look, that's the reality. 14 months ago, Malachi Corley was a darling in the Jets' eyes. Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh reenacted the draft day scene. Vontae Mack, no matter what. Saleh texting Douglas, no matter what. Douglas responding, no matter what. I mean, it felt like they really liked Corley. That was their guy. They traded up 7 spots to take Corley with that first pick in the third round. But then you fast forward to training camp last summer, and he was not a great route runner. We saw that on tape in college, but you thought his natural talent, he'd get better, he'd put in the work. But now there were questions about his work ethic, his maturity, right? His first major play is one of the bigger blunders you'll see in the NFL, where on his first handoff, he has an easy touchdown, and he drops the ball before he technically scored the touchdown. And if the Jets did not come back and win that game against Houston that Halloween night, that play would have got way more attention than it actually did in hindsight. And that's really all we saw from Corley. He was an inactive player for, 5 games last year? I mean, they didn't trust him on the field. And let's call it for what it is. Aaron Glenn, Darren Muji, they don't care that the old regime was high on Corley. See, if Joe Douglas was still the GM, Malachi Corley would not be cut, because I don't think Joe Douglas would want on his draft record, oh, we're cutting a player a year into his career. That hasn't happened. You very rarely will see that. But Darren Muji didn't draft Malachi Corley. He's known as the Yak King, but I mean, do they have a plan for him to be able to get the ball and take advantage of his yak ability? I'm not so sure. Because a lot of what we've heard about Arian Smith, it kind of sounds like what the original role was for Malachi Corley. And here's the thing with Corley. He doesn't play special teams, or at least he didn't last year. And now he was dealing with some sort of undisclosed injury throughout OTAs and minicamp. So he was missing out on valuable practice reps while other players out there were getting those reps. So he's behind the 8 ball. Does he know the playbook? Is he a smart enough player to grasp what Tanner Engstrand's offense is? I don't know. I'm not there watching all these practices, and the media is only watching, one practice per week. They're not even seeing everything. So we don't know just how far Malachi Corley is behind the rest of the pack. But the reality is he has no roster spot guaranteed. I don't care if he was a top pick, right? First pick in the 3rd round is not a joke. That's a legitimate draft pick. But, ultimately, Aaron Glenn has said the best football players are going to play. Are we sure that Malachi Corley is one of the Jets' best football players in that room? He's behind the 8 ball. And now you're talking about a guy who's dealing with an injury. Now, the one saving grace for Corley is that it's not exactly like there is so much talent in that room that if he does get healthy, as we assume he should be for training camp, and he goes out there and he makes plays, there's no way to sit here and say that he can't go out there and earn a roster spot. And I think, if it's close between him and a UDFA, or if it's close between him and, an aging veteran that's on the team, you would think they would go with the guy that did have the draft pedigree of being the first pick in the 3rd round. Like, I think in a perfect world, Malachi Corley goes out there, he balls out, he's on the Jets, but it's not going to be handed to him. So you can't completely rule out him getting his act together, getting healthy, grasping Engstrand's offense, maybe building a rapport with Justin Fields, and still making this team, but it kind of feels unlikely right now. But once again, the saving grace is the fact that after Garrett Wilson, there are a ton of question marks on what this wide receiver depth chart actually looks like. This was Joe Caporoso, who joined us yesterday, talking about the Jets wide receiver depth chart behind Garrett Wilson on a recent Badlands episode.
It's Garrett Wilson, and then it's a lot of question marks. I think as it stands right now, fair to pencil in Josh Reynolds as the other starter. If the Jets go to 11 personnel, is that going to be Allen Lazard? Is that going to be Tyler Johnson? Is that going to be Arian Smith or Malachi Corley? Xavier Gipson is probably playing ahead of Corley right now, so he's another name worth mentioning. Irv Charles banged up and more of a special teamer. Brandon Smith, a couple nice moments last preseason. They also have Pritchett on the roster as a UDFA who's really just competing to be a punt returner with Gibson. They could use another veteran here without question. It does seem like Lazard is more likely to be here than not. Maybe like 55-45 he's on the Jets. And doesn't ultimately ended up get traded to Pittsburgh to join his buddy Aaron Rodgers. But as it stands now, I would still say that Reynolds is most likely to be the number 2 receiver on this team.
So if we operate off of that, right, Reynolds is the number 2 receiver. You have Garrett, you have Reynolds. If Lazard's on the team, find me the spot for Corley. Because I think Malachi Corley makes the team if Lazard's traded to the Steelers. If not, I think the Jets are going to keep Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds, Allen Lazard, Arian Smith. Those are 4 locks. Arian Smith, 4th round pick. He's not being cut. After that, they signed Tyler Johnson. That's 5. And Xavier Gibson versus Jamal Pritchard. One of them is going to be the punt returner. Gibson, at least now, could offer a little more as an actual receiver. He's made plays in NFL games before. He's not special. He's not great, but he's done something. Corley's got 3 career catches for 16 yards. He's changed his jersey number the same amount of times that he's caught receptions in the NFL. Think about that. I don't think he's making the team. He's going to have to go out there and really make plays, and he's going to be a guy that, he's going to play in the 3 preseason games. And he's going to have an impact in those games. And, maybe the Jets' new special teams coordinator, Chris Banjo, maybe they give Corley an opportunity to return punts. Maybe they give him an opportunity to be on the kickoff. I always thought, hey, this guy is so good with the ball in his hands. If you look at what the NFL kickoff now is, it's essentially a long designed running play. You can't find a role for Malachi Corley in the kickoff. Like, give him a chance. That's what I would do. Like, he is talented. He might not be the best route runner. Maybe he doesn't grasp it. Maybe he doesn't have the work ethic to get better at that. I don't know. I don't want to cast aspersions on the guy and say there's no scenario where he gets better and improves, but it's not good what you're hearing. I mean, even the quotes from, like, Glenn and Engstrand are very, like, generic. Like, oh, yeah, we got a plan for him. He's got to be out there, though. It's not like they're being like, he's hurt right now, but we know this kid has it. We love what we're seeing. He's like, listen to Glenn praise Jeremy Ruckert, right? Another embattled guy who we thought maybe is fighting for his spot in the team. And then listen to him be asked a question about Corley, a very different answer. Listen to Glenn be asked about Armand Membu or Mason Taylor. When Glenn wants to praise a player, he has a very unique way of doing it where it's genuine. With Corley, we got a plan for him, but can't make the club in the tub. So I don't think he's on this team. I don't. And I've said it for a while. Someone said, it's a hot take. I don't think it's that hot of a take when you just go through the depth chart. You heard Joe just do that in the answer there, but I have it pulled up in front of me. The locks are Garrett, Reynolds, and if they're keeping Lazard, which it sounds like at this point they are, which I'm not 100% sold on that, but let's operate under the premise he's on the team. You already have 4 guaranteed receivers that are on the 53. Garrett, Reynolds, Lazard, Arian Smith. They signed Tyler Johnson. They like his speed. Xavier Gibson or Jamal Pritchard, the UDFA. One of them's the punt returner / backup slot receiver. After, they keeping 7 receivers? I doubt it. So, maybe the best case scenario is Corley does something and they could trade him and get anything for him. I don't know. But I'm not banking on it, folks. I really wouldn't. Open phone lines if you want in on the conversation. Since this is likely the final show before the AsManiac raffle on Monday, +2 on all gifted memberships and super chats that qualify. And if you haven't been tuning in this week, as an incentive to hopefully get more people to call in during the slower portion of the NFL calendar here till training camp starts, when you call into the show, you earn a raffle ticket. Today, since we're doing +2, a call into the show actually gets you 3 raffle tickets. So just another way to thank the audience, the diehard Jet fans who are tuned in to Jets content on a weekend in June. And a reminder for those tuning in late, we're giving away on Monday a signed Joe Namath football, signed Darrelle Revis football, signed Wayne Corbett jersey, and a signed Kevin Mawai jersey. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. Appreciate all of you who support this show. Dean with our first super chat. He's been a channel member for 11 months. Corley equals Mims Jr. Should have never been drafted. Did you feel that way at the time, Dean? Right? Because I think a lot of us were pretty excited about Corley. It just stinks it hasn't worked out. But that, unfortunately, is a lot of the Joe Douglas picks outside of round 1 when it comes to skill position players. Name me the receiver besides Garrett Wilson that Joe Douglas drafted that's any good. Elijah Moore, Denzel Mims, Malachi Corley. Just struggle bus. That's just the reality. King and Dreams with a $2 super chat. Stop the cap. Old boy won't go anywhere. I'm not so sure, K&D. I don't really see the role for him. I hope I'm wrong. Best case scenario, Corley, goes out there and he earns a spot and he's talented and he helps the Jets, but I don't see it right now. Appreciate you tuned in. Beastbreaker says, we're having a heat wave. My global studio headquarters has top-notch air conditioning. We're happy for you, Beast. Charleston Jetsrube writes in, this would be another failed, hyped-up Douglas pick. So sad. A lot of them are. A lot of the skill position players are, unfortunately. That's just the reality. Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. It is open. The link is pinned in the comments if you want in on the conversation.
If you want to buy the #1 umbrella in the universe, go to gusbuster.com and make sure you use promo code JAKE25 for a discount at checkout.
Let's say hello to Daz, who's first up today. Hello, Daz.
Hello. Can you hear me today?
I hear you, Daz. You sound good.
Yeah, thank God. I don't know what happened yesterday. Yeah, I just thought I'd call in from the attic, not the layer. Show a couple of my things off that I was going to show yesterday. One sec.
A little show and tell with Daz. For those who don't know, Daz is a diehard Jet fan who lives in the UK.
Yeah. Yes, it's me, Quincy and Quinnen Helm. Yep.
Who's got a better attic, you or Beastbreaker?
Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I can't. Even when this attic's finished, it'll never be as good as Beastbreakers. That's just the greatest attic in history. But then again, this is the attic, that's the layer, so it's all right. But yeah, yes, it is another attic, Gary. This is my attic. Got me Braxton Berrios framed jersey there. That needs replacing. Yep, that's what's it called?
Emerson Bruiser?
Yeah. No, this one here. One sec.
Dad's very prepared for show and tell.
Michael Carter, second.
Oh, Michael Carter. Okay.
Yeah, it's the 32 one, though, not the one we actually want to have on the frame. But that's the prize there. 1 second. Best quarterback we ever had, Flash Gordon.
I like it.
Yep. Chilling out. Yeah, so yeah, I was about to call in. Yeah, I mean, obviously in the first, so I can't really comment on much. But Corley, I think to be honest, the reason they've moved his number over is to make him more, like closer to quarterback and wide receiver one. I think the fact he's asked to go for that number is testament that he actually wants to try and learn, and hopefully that's something that he'll do. But I mean, because obviously he's in the locker between his quarterback and wide receiver one. That's my thought process. So hopefully that's what he's looking at, and he's matured a bit. But it's anyone's guess if he's actually going to be on the roster by week one.
It's just tough to bank on it. You hope, and
Yeah.
It's good for the Jets if he earns a spot and he looks good this summer. But I'm not banking on it. Just given the history of Joe Douglas's picks at that position, I'm not banking on it.
Yeah, that's all right, really. I mean, you can't bank on it, like you say. If he's gonna be here, great. If not, then obviously we've got to hope that what's he called, Smith, is good this year. So.
Well said. Daz, appreciate the show
That's
and
it.
tell. Good stuff, man.
Thanks, guys.
You get the fuck out.
Charleston Jets Rube joins us now live from the nudist colony. Hello, Charleston. Or not. Never mind. Comments, questions, super chats, ladies and gentlemen. It's +2 on all gifted memberships and super chats that qualify. This is the final show before Monday's Asmaniac raffle, potentially. JR3. How about a 10 spot? Let's go, JR.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
JR, thank you. You're going to be in for 12 with this generosity. Big Country 87, Jay Lebselter, Orlando G, Franklin Fung, Flight Right, Bill Fun, ADA3, John LG, and Jared, all receiving channel memberships there from JR. JR, appreciate it. Good luck in the raffle. More of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. We tried the Rube, and he went black screen on us. Is he back? Mr. Rube, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. It would be really, really sad if Corley didn't make the team. I mean, I understand the thought process behind it with having Arian Smith and everything else, but I'd much rather get rid of Lazard, trade his ass for whatever. Lazard in a 6th rounder for a 5th rounder or whatever it be, and give Corley a shot. We know what Lazard is. I mean, yeah, he's a decent blocker, but other than that, he's going to catch 3 out of 5 balls, maybe 4 out of 5. And inevitably the one that he drops is going to be the most important one. But yeah, I mean, I know we got the same wide receiver coach, but our offensive coaching was so inept last year that I would really think that Engstrand would be able to find a way to get the ball in his hands. Hopefully Corley just knows how to hang on to it, if he ever gets himself in another big moment.
I'm just not banking on him being anything. Like I think anything they get from him is a bonus.
I mean, unfortunately, I kind of have that feeling too, just with the comments that were being made. basically, I don't remember the exact what it was, but basically being in the tub, you ain't gonna get the ball, that sort of thing. But I don't know. Is it really that he's not giving 100% effort, or was it that the offensive staff didn't know how to use him? I mean, we can all go back to what was it, Game 9, Game 10, a couple years back when Hackett was like, "Oh, I didn't even realize he could catch the ball," when every single fan in the freaking world knew that he could catch the damn ball. Um, so I don't know. I guess I'm not quite ready to give up on him yet. I would understand it, but I would much rather see Lazard um, get sent packing and give him a shot. But that's
Well,
just my
it
two
tells you,
cents.
though, if they keep Lazard, obviously, that, if they keep Lazard, obviously, they think that he's significantly better than Corley, because if it was close, you'd rather keep the young draft pick who's under cost control for another couple of years.
No, most definitely, most definitely. Even with the money that Lazard cut himself down to, I'm going to assume that their contracts are probably similar, being he was an early third round pick. I don't know, but I'm guessing their salaries are in a similar, you know, similar atmosphere there as far as dollar amount. But anyways, thanks for taking my call, Jake. Love you, bud.
Charleston, great call. +2 on raffle entries today, and that includes calls. Thank you guys for the support. Black Gypsy, a great Asmaniac. He has gifted 5 memberships. So seven raffle tickets in Monday's raffle for Mr. Gypsy himself.
We are mama way.
Ladies and gentlemen, Boss Bentley, Johnny Boy, Jimbo, Adam is too cool, Donnie Arasso, all receiving a channel membership there. Black Gypsy wrote in, let's hope we could do something with what we have with good coaching. Yeah, I mean, if they turn Corley into a player, that's awesome. I just don't think he's their player. I think they drafted Arian Smith for a reason. I'm way more confident, believe it or not, in Arian Smith working out than I am Malachi Corley. Even though where Corley was picked was not considered a reach, whereas Arian Smith it was. But I have more belief they have a plan for Arian Smith, and Arian Smith's their kind of guy. He's got the work ethic, etc., than I am in Malachi Corley, believe it or not. I'm just very down on Corley. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Let's get to more of your calls right now. And joining us on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is one of the all-time great callers in the history of this program. Ladies and gentlemen, all aboard the Lane Train.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Good afternoon, Jake.
Good afternoon, Lane.
How do you feel about Arian Smith?
I don't know what to feel about him yet. I'm cautiously optimistic that they could coach him up and he could be a contributor.
Oh, so how do you feel about the Jets' record this year is going to be? Is it going to be 1-0 to start week 1?
I hope so. How do you feel?
How do I feel about the Jets? Well, I'm not really a Jets fan. I'm a Giants fan, but I think that the Jets are going to do good in week 1.
You think?
We're playing the Steelers with Mr. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, how do you feel that Aaron Rodgers is on the Steelers now? Do you think we'll beat him in week 1 in October 19th?
Do I think the Jets will win week 1 on October 19th? What if I were to tell you, Lane, that the Jets-Steelers game is actually taking place in September? Would that change your opinion on things?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, on September 19th, not October 19th.
What if I were to tell you that September 19th is actually a Friday night, and thus the Jets are not playing that night?
Yeah, I know. They play on the Sunday.
Correct. What if I were to tell you that opening day for the Jets might actually be September, and I want to say off the top of my head, Lane, September 7th?
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I looked it up in the newspaper. I was reading the newspaper.
You get any ink on your hands while reading the paper?
I didn't glue my hands to the newspaper.
Okay.
Look who's on. I'm on with Jake Asman. Yeah, make my bed. Yeah. Oh, hi, Mom. Say hi.
Hello.
Look.
Hi, Jake.
How are you?
I could be better. I have a bad back. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. You know, it's always great when the Lane Train calls into the show.
How about the fact that what's his name got married?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but no one seems to know who this mysterious woman is, Lane.
Yeah, we don't know who it is. It's like mystery.
After a million girlfriends.
Okay, all right. Let me Okay. So yeah, I'm back talking to you still.
I'm glad you're still here, Lane. I was worried.
It's supposed to be a very big heat wave next week. Drink a lot of water.
I think it's a heat wave now, right? It's already really hot.
Yeah, I know. It's supposed to be 101 outside.
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday are going to be actually even tomorrow too. But Tuesday it looks like it could be 102.
Yeah, I know. I was in Manhattan yesterday. I drank a lot of like ice stuff. Like after I went to the dentist, I went to I had like an iced coffee with Dad.
How was that?
Diner. It was good. It was so hot that like I had to go on the subway and it was like sweaty down there.
Are you gonna go swimming at all for the next couple of days, Lane?
Sunday.
Sunday, you're gonna go swimming. So tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. Next Sunday. I'm
next
busy,
Sunday.
so.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't want to burn. So yeah.
Yeah, make sure you wear sunscreen.
Yeah, I'm so sticking with what I was talking about. Anyway, I mean Taylor Warren, you have Membo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you feel about Taylor Warren this year?
I don't know who Taylor Warren is.
Okay, skip that.
Okay.
How do you feel about Membo? You think he'll do good?
I think he's going to do very good.
Why?
I just think he's a good football player.
Yes, I know my Jets stuff. And on the other hand, you watched the Yankees lost last night.
They did. I was there.
Oh, really? They're horrible now. And the Mets dropped 7 games in a row.
They're horrible now.
But I don't get Apple TV. That's weird.
You don't feel like paying for
Apple
it?
TV? No, but they're on Heroku, actually. You can get free games on your phone.
Heroku?
You have to go on Prime. Yeah.
What's Heroku?
Heroku is a channel, but I don't really get it. It's like a new channel that
I usually use Roku instead of Heroku.
Roku, rather.
Oh, okay.
You thought it's a Heroku? Yeah, Roku is yeah, I don't get it. I don't. Maybe they just like it's a different cable company.
Yep.
I think you have to pay for it. Prime TV is also expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Still talking about the Jets. It's like I know, I guess I have a lot of stuff to talk about.
You've had a lot on your mind today, Lane.
Yeah, I mean, so training camp for week 4 already for the Giants. Yeah, week 4 already. I know. Week 4 for the Giants. I think Brian Dable is going to do good still, and you also have who else do you have that can be forward in the lineup in training camp? You also have I forgot. There's a lot of players.
Well, when you think about it, you give us a call back, okay, Lane?
Yeah, and I have Brian is also playing. Brian Jones is playing.
Brian Jones. Love Brian Jones.
Yeah, and you also have Russell Wilson's on the Giants now, so let's hope he does good.
I hope he stinks.
I just don't want to have any injuries. That's the only thing. Because last year we had too many injuries.
I hope the Giants lose every game.
Why? You just don't like them?
I don't like the Giants.
How was Carly good?
She's well.
Finger cookies, I guess. Okay. I just don't want to leave you on too long. I have to take other callers. Okay, thank you for taking my call.
Anytime, Lane. Appreciate your call as always.
Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lane Train. Always good to get Lane on the program. How do we follow that one up? That's the question. No one has the answer. But we're going to try. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello right now to Artie. Hello, Artie. Ladies and gentlemen. Artie.
Jake, how are you today?
I'm good, Artie. How is your nudist colony?
Nudist Colony is doing well. I thought this was supposed to be Shirtless Saturday. I heard that advertised on yesterday's show. And I also heard that you became Dr. Asman.
Yes, I gained the title of doctor according to Beastbreaker, which is a tremendous honor.
Yes, and we will not call it the Lair anymore. It is Global Studio something or another, I assume.
Global Studio Headquarters, I believe, is the official title now.
But as far as Corley goes, Jake, I'm trying to keep everything with an open mind. This coaching staff and, front office was like a total joke last year. They traded for a player who immediately held out. Everything went sideways right off the rip. The guys stopped trying. They played like nobody gave a shit. We had Michael Clemens jumping on piles after he had a couple of decent first couple of seasons. So I'm keeping an open mind with all these guys. Corley, he's probably replaceable because we got Arian Smith. And, I think he's probably, like you said, he's probably going to get cut sometime soon. But I'm trying to keep an open mind. We don't know what any of these guys are. We have no clue because they're so poorly coached. They're all like drug addicts, like Peter says. We don't know what we got.
Yeah, look, there's still obviously a path for Malachi Corley to make this team have a role. Just given the history of the Jets and this previous regime that drafted him, and what we know about a new regime that comes in that has no loyalty to players they didn't pick, right? They didn't develop. It just doesn't feel like when we just do the simple roster gymnastics, if they're going to keep Lazard, that there's a real spot for Corley right now, unless he goes out there and he plays well in the preseason, which could happen. He's talented. If he does that, he might be able to make the team still. It's not a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, we're kind of thin at that position anyway. So, if they do replace him, I hope they replace him with somebody and not just cut him and stay thin, I think our wide receiver core, I know with Devontae last year, on paper, it was a much better wide receiver core. But the potential for this year with Justin Fields compared to last year with Aaron Rodgers, I think is very elevated. I think it has a better shot of being good this year than we did last year.
You're talking about the offense in general?
In general, I think with the young receivers, the tight end, and also Arian Smith, like I said, we're not sure what we got, but we might have caught lightning in a bottle. We can't stay this dog shit this long. Sooner or later, it's got to turn. No team ever stays shitty this long. So I'm just hoping that this is the year that we turn the page and we actually, lightning in the bottle and hire a coaching staff that knows what they're doing and can develop these guys, because the last coaching staff could not develop anything. Yeah,
look, I hope so. They could be crappy for another year, though. Eventually, I agree with you. Eventually, this franchise will get back on track and make the playoffs. It's just kind of hard to picture it this year, but I'd love to be wrong.
I think we're smart enough to see the product on the field and know we're in the right direction. Even if we don't get the results we want, at least we'll know, with tweaks here or there, we might be headed in the right direction. Last year, after that game in England, it was absolutely awful. They just totally fell off the cliff. It was ridiculous. This is a team last year that stunk with the coaching staff, and we were in every game until the third, fourth quarter. So, very rarely did we get blown out right off the rip. So, I think there's a lot of potential.
I agree. There definitely is a lot of potential. So much of the Jet season, though, is just if it's a lot to ask for. But, if the coaching staff is legitimate, I always fall back on the fact that I do believe there's a lot more talent on the roster than the Jets nationally are typically given credit for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I remember watching other shows, even on like Pat McAfee. I forgot the lineman's name who's on his show. He's a strength coach and he coaches line. He was showing clips of how deep offensive line's supposed to block and how offensive lines are not supposed to block. And they highlighted the Jets as being one of the teams once that were doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And it just goes to show you where, we spent a lot of time thinking we were a quarterback away. When we probably weren't a quarterback away, we were probably a coaching staff away. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, just everything that could go wrong basically went wrong last year. If this guy has a good year, this will happen. Not only did that not go the Jets' way, but you had regression that no one could have foreseen. Like Greg Zuerlein going from one of the best kickers in the NFL to the worst before they got rid of him. Regression from the Jets' best players, right? Like Sauce, Quincy, Quinnen, your 3 best defensive players, guys who have been all-pro players, didn't have good years last year for their standards. That hurts.
And they almost seem like they were targeted for the stupidest penalties, away from the ball penalties, like holding, roughing, and all sorts of things that had nothing to do with the play, but they got flagged for it, and I hate that. Oh, it's terrible.
It's tough, but ultimately, hopefully, this team is better coached, and the guys that had bad years a year ago, they rebound and have what we've seen them do before. It's not like we've never seen some of those players I just mentioned be great. They were great 2 years ago, and they're still young in their prime, so they, in theory, should be able to do it again.
Yeah, and guys like Sal are a dime a dozen. Guys that are great coordinators and can't be head coaches. I mean, they're throughout history of the league, there've been tons of them. So, hopefully we have, the right guys in place.
We can only hope, Artie. We can only hope.
And one last thing, I just want to wish Purple Mike the best. Hope knee heals up quick. Yeah, super good dude. It was a pleasure hanging out with you at the draft party, and me and Peg wish you nothing but the best, buddy.
Well said. Ladies and gentlemen, Artie of Party with Peg and Artie.
You get the fuck out.
3 raffle tickets with that call, +2 on all gifted memberships, super chats that qualify, and we have a new rule until training camp as an incentive to get people to call into the show during the slow portion of the calendar here. You call in, have a quality call on topic to whatever we're discussing on the show. You earn yourself a raffle ticket that applies for any daily raffle or weekly raffle, which this is the last show in all likelihood before Monday's raffle. So take advantage, get in the raffle. Chance to win a signed Joe Namath football, Darrell Rivas football, Corbett signed jersey, and a signed Kevin Mawai signed jersey. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see. Hey, Julian has gifted 5 memberships. He made his first phone call on the show yesterday. He is in the raffle now for 7 because it's +2 on all gifted memberships. Julian, thank you.
Money.
Okay, this is an actual name that YouTube allowed, so I'm just going to read it. Burnt Ballsack, Greg Reed, Nate, NYJ92, Dane81, all receiving channel memberships there from the Julian. That is Julian Manfredo, who's going by Jules now. Johnny Boy checks in. Upside down, pineapple for life. P.S. Jake Asman has a nice smirk. Oh, and F. Tom Brady. Johnny Boy, appreciate you. Danger Zone says, boom, another egg just got fertilized by Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy's on like kid number 9, I was told. So we're happy for him and his growing family. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. If you tuned in late, we're discussing the report from Rich Cimini about Malachi Corley's Jet future. He could be gone the same way Douglas, Saleh, and Rodgers, who all had a lot to do with Corley being drafted, how they're all gone. Spectacular. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, Beast Breaker got the memo on what you need to do when you call in today. A shirtless beast. Dear God, hide the women and children.
Oh, all right. Enough of that there. Okay. Corley's got another week. We're going to give him another week. But if
another week? But training camp doesn't start till July, Beast.
Well, if he doesn't start picking up the speed and the ball, sorry to tell you, there's no saying.
It's all about the speed and the ball.
If you can't cut it here, I'm sorry to tell you, but there's an old saying. If you don't want to be here, then here's your pink slip. Thank you for joining us. But unfortunately, best of luck to you for your future endeavors. Thank you very much. That's what's going to happen to Corley if he doesn't pick up his end of the bargain. I do see a future. I know for a fact that we are going to go 13-4. Buffalo we're going to lose to because I know they are too strong. Last year, that New England game, when I watched it, I just went, what the hell were y'all thinking? What are you doing? What are you doing here? Are you serious? Have you checked yourself in the mirror lately? Did you see how stupid you look when you lost? think about it this way. Put it behind you. Get that shit out of your head. And remember, this year will not be like last year. You can forget that, number one. We're gonna throw that away. We're gonna focus up here. Common sense. We're gonna play smart. We're gonna act smart, and we're gonna be a little smarter. We're not gonna go back to the past. Them days of the old are yesterday's toilet seat. That is in the garbage. We're gonna focus. We're gonna play smart. We're gonna play wise, and we're gonna play with a better, cool head. And Aaron Glenn's gonna watch very closely. It's called pay attention, learn, listen, shut up, open your ears, and watch and learn. Because if you don't want to learn, hey, there's two options you can do. You can get your pink slip, or try a little harder. That's all. That's all I'm gonna tell you. There's two options.
Lane Train just wrote in, Beast is topless.
Thank you. Well, don't worry about it. Mr. Lane, I like your takes, man, but I love your train. You know, choo, choo. You know, if you need a conductor, I can fill in and conduct and go, all aboard the train.
Hey, Beast, can you give us an idea? You kind of stand up, give people the visual of what you'd look like as a train conductor.
All aboard. Choo, choo. Let's go, all aboard. Choo, choo.
Rejected. Sorry.
Better luck next time, Beast. We'll workshop it. Lane, give us your thoughts. How did Beast do as a train conductor? Let's get to more of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. This man might have torn his ACL, but his spirits remain high.
Purple belt Mike, he loves the dark night. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Oh, man, that video is awesome. You know, I'm not going to lie. The armbar in that video is textbook perfect.
You nailed it.
Yeah. Can't wait to do that again.
Also, breaking news from Lane. He thinks Beast did a good job. Beast, well done. You got the Lane Train approval, and that's all that matters.
I got a Corley take. What do you think about Corley being a wingback? I don't know if they've ever used that in the NFL, but with the offense that we run, that can be a position where he could actually flourish.
Well, it's not a crazy take. I heard Connor Rogers, who obviously has a scouting background for all the draft stuff he does, say that he thought that the Jets should just move Corley to running back. But the reality is they like Isaiah Davis and Braylon Allen, so it's hard to find really playing time there for Corley, too. It's not, like if they were thin at running back, then I think it'd make more sense. But I just don't really see the path there for him.
I feel like he would be good at wing. You put him right there on the outside of the tight end. You can run that wing inside. You can run the reverse with him there. That might be, you know, something they might try in training camp or something because
the Delaware wing T offense.
Yeah, there's got to be some use for that talent. It can't just be nothing. And we saw him with the ball in his hands that he is good as long as he stays holding on to the ball. But I'm pretty sure he learned his lesson. And you know, there's got to be a spot for him. There's got to be something. Can't be called the Yak King and not play football. I just don't understand. Someone's got to figure it out.
I agree. All right. I have very little faith in him being on this team. I'd love to be wrong, but my expectations are minimum.
Hopefully we trade Lazard.
Yeah. I mean, if they don't, though, I think that tells you that no one else can even, like, push Lazard. Because if they can get anything for Lazard, it makes sense to move on from an older player who's not part of your long-term future for a younger player. But Corley would be the guy you'd circle and say, hey, can you be a playmaker? Can you beat out Lazard? I don't think he can.
Yeah, I don't know. But we'll see. They'll figure it out as long as Aaron Glenn is in a bozo. So
how's the knee, Mike? You doing all right?
Yeah. Did you guys see my new brace that I got? Do you guys see this?
Yeah, you showed it the other day.
So it's not too bad. I mean, it's obviously way more swollen now and a little bit tinted, but it's all right. There's I was looking at stuff online. What like the new therapy is? They actually have you do therapy like right away. So maybe after I visit the surgeon, I might do therapy first and then they operate to like strengthen up the muscles so it's better. But I'm not sure. I'm gonna see the Islander doctor. I don't know if I mentioned that, but
you did. I reported it on the show yesterday. If you saw,
I didn't watch the show yesterday. I couldn't
mentioned it,
watch the show. Yeah.
I said sources tell me that Mike is being operated on by the orthopedist for the New York Islanders.
Yeah. So, should be good. I reached out to Rick DiPietro. He got back to me. He said the guy's awesome and he really likes him. So that was nice that Rick answered a DM from me.
You DM'd him on Twitter?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And then the DiPietro Rothenberg account was talking to me. So they wished me the best too. So it's good, man. The community here and ESPN, everyone's been supportive of me. That kind of helps me out mentally because it's not the easiest thing in the world to deal with this. So it's good. It's nice to know that everyone kind of has my back.
We do, Mike. Get better, all right? We're all with you.
Yep. Thanks, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, PKM, Purple Knee Mike.
Purple Belt Mike, he loves the Dark Knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that Purple Belt Mike. Purple Belt Mike, he might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Get better. Lane Train says get better soon. Love it. Excellent call so far today. +2 raffle tickets for every super chat that qualifies. That's $10 or higher. And every gifted membership. So if you gift one membership for $5, you get the equivalent of $15 in value because you're in for 3. Kevin with a super chat. Thank you, Kevin. Aside from the drops, Lazard is not a bad player. He led the Jets in touchdowns before he got injured. Getting rid of Lazard is not the answer. I mean, almost by default, though, right? Because Rodgers had faith in him and trust in him. I just, Lazard is what he is, man. If they could find someone better, I think they would. I don't think they have that on the roster. Thus why he's here. I mean, that's, to me, the reality of the situation. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line, just like Kevin's did. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Appreciate all of you tuned in here on a Saturday. Up next on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is...
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Hi, how's my eye looking better?
Hold on. Get really close to the camera. Let's see.
My hair's a mess again.
Get in there. I don't think it's as pink as it was the last time you called.
I got some medicine, and I got good news today.
Ooh.
Before I went on your show, I did Indeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is unbelievable. They gave, I went to the Indeed from 99 in Brattleboro. They have 2 job openings, line cook or host and hostess. So I signed for both of them. Now, on Wednesday, I got a job interview at 2:00.
Are you going in person?
Yes, yeah, that's what it is. You go in person.
Excellent. So we got to get you ready for this job interview then, man. Were you inspired by Charles Gorman's quest for a job?
Huh?
Were you inspired by Gorman's pursuit of employment?
No, I was inspired by you and Nick and Charles too, yeah.
I like
Dave Berger, don't forget Dave Berger too.
Of course. Well, good luck, Bobby. That's excellent news. Berger's watching the show. He wrote Bobby, good news. Black Gypsy, good job, Bobby. That's what you should be checking Indeed all the time. See.
I know. It only took me like they emailed me today.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
I just
great.
did it like an hour ago, and I got a job in the
Well, make sure you study up on what 99 is, the food they have.
Yeah, that's where we eat at. We eat at there.
Yeah, you know the place, so just
we know
prepare
the
yourself.
manager. I know.
Make sure you get a haircut. You have a clean shave. You look.
Oh
professional.
yes, I'm gonna get a haircut definitely for that. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And then my eyes should be better by then. I still put the medicine on. So I'm a happy person today.
I like
You're
it.
my good luck charm, Jake. The show just came on when I got my message.
We're the official show of getting listeners jobs.
Yeah, right. No, you got it right there. As soon as you said you were going to start in 10 minutes, I got the message right there.
Boom.
Boom. Yes, I'm happy. I might not even need the people down there on July 3rd. I got it by myself. So
I like it. Well, you got to keep going, man. You got to keep up the pursuit.
Indeed is good. I told you that's how I got the Holiday Inn job. And then he didn't really interview me. He said, "Oh, wow, people don't usually show up for this job." And I said, "I'm here." And then he hired me.
That's half the battle. You gotta show up to work, right?
Yeah, he's from Poughkeepsie,
Ooh.
There. Yeah. That's where he lived. So, yeah, that's my ex-manager. Hellion. So I'm a happy guy today.
Well, I'm glad you're happy, Bob. All right. Let's get you ready for this interview. We'll do some practice interviews over the next couple of days. All right.
Yeah, that's fine with me. That's good.
All right. If you have a question for Bobby, pretend you're the 99 general manager.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know what 99 is, it's the equivalent of like a Chili's type of style restaurant, right? Yeah. I've had 99 before. They're mostly in New England.
Yeah, mostly in New England.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, I'm looking forward to getting you prepped for this this job
Yeah,
in the
Monday.
next couple days.
You could do it on Monday.
All right, sounds good.
I'm gonna call for my haircut on Monday. Get snip. Looking
Sounds good. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Shave too.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jake, for having me on.
You got it, Bob.
Oh, you know I'm doing another Zoom meeting. Oh, farts, Jake's going live. Gotta end my friggin' stream. I'm Bobby.
Excellent news from Bobby Midnight. Sam with a super chat. Want us to question Tanner Engstrand's play calling ability if you can't use the kid. What if Corley's just not good? Right? I don't know about that. If Engstrand can't turn Malachi Corley into a good football player, I don't think it necessarily means he's not a good play caller. I don't buy that. Now, maybe Engstrand is a great play caller. He does see a role for Corley because he knows he does have a unique skill set. I don't know, but I'm not necessarily going to cast my judgment on Engstrand based on Corley. I'm going to cast my judgment on Engstrand based on what I see from Fields. Are they finding creative ways to use what Fields does as a talent, right? Because he might not be the best thrower, but he's certainly a talented runner. You could scheme guys open. You have Garrett Wilson. You have Mason Taylor. You have an offensive line. You have Breece Hall, who I think has never been properly utilized the way I think he can be. Like what McCaffrey does for the Niners. I think Breece could do similar things. That's what I want to see. PBM in the raffle for 2, but it's +2 on raffle ticket entries. So guess what? This $10 super chat, normally worth 2, is worth 4 today. Jake, forgot to ask you going to Beach Bash. TCA has been asking me. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. It's too far to get down there for the day. I'd have to take off from doing the YouTube show. But I'll be tuned in from afar. Hawk says Corley's a home run hitter. We saw it last year. He's just immature. Well, hopefully he matured and he earns a roster spot. That's key. Dave Brigga says, we aim to create achievers. That we do. And folks, Dave Brigga's influence continues to be felt in this chat, which is why joining us now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is...
Hey, Charles! You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. Hey, Charles! I'm not saying that Glowski takes steroids. I need some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Sing it this way, Charles!
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Charles.
So I didn't call in yesterday. I was pooped. Had a long day at the office at my program. It was good. Still haven't heard back from the one in Avenel in regards to Burger King. Anyways, I'm at my friend Colin's house. We're about to head out for lunch. We're going to go to a place called 30 Burgers.
I feel like every time you call in, Charles, you either just ate or about to eat or you're eating.
I guess I'm that talented. I guess I'm that dude.
Some would say Bruce Springsteen was born to run. You might have been born to eat.
Damn straight. As for Malachi Corley, it could either be one or the other. You know, he could either be very immature or just not a good football player. We'll see. I know there are rumors that he might be a trade target. Who knows? But as far as I'm concerned, you know, we'll just have to wait and see at this point. You know, hopefully Tanner Engstrand is as good as people say he is. Hopefully this offense really kicks some ass this year.
Are you just walking in a circle?
No, I'm just walking back and forth.
Have you thought about just sitting down for your call?
Yes. I can't sit down for very long.
How come?
I'm a little antsy. Part of my ADHD and ADD.
Now, let's break down what occurred the other day on the Charles Gorman program. I'm going to play a clip.
Yeah, did I fart it? You don't have to say.
I want your take on it.
When's the next Batman movie? Probably around 2027, 2028. Excuse me.
What happened there, Charles?
I just farted. Sometimes when you have to let one rip, you got to let one rip.
Now, have you thought about hitting the mute button, which is a button on StreamYard that if you hit it just like this, see, now I'm talking. That's what the mute button is
Yes,
for.
but I didn't think I would fart, but I did. So shit happened. Excuse me.
And you realize just saying, excuse me, it doesn't do you any good.
I know, but it is polite to say excuse me.
Polite would be you hit the mute button. Why
True.
does your audience need to be subjected to your farts?
Yeah. Because I like to fart.
I understand that. But then you get mad when we bring up your farts. And thus, I'm not really understanding how you could be upset when you're seemingly doing this and embracing it.
Well, the way you guys bring it up kind of brings on my nerve. It's not that you just bringing it up. It's just that you constantly are obsessed with it.
What do you mean? You do it. This would be like O.J. Simpson saying, why do you bring up the alleged murders I did?
Whoa. All right, so no, I get
You can't be upset. It's synonymous with you.
That is true. Excuse me. Anyways, if you want to rate my fart on a scale from 1 to 10, I'll give it a 3.
Now, apparently you have a fart lean, Charles. Are you aware of this?
A fart what?
A fart lean. When you fart, there's a distinct lean that you make before you do it.
Oh, I thought you said fart mean. No, fart lean. Yeah, you got to lean into your fart sometimes, man.
Let's break down the tape. Hold on.
Excuse me.
All right, that's example 1. Let's go through some other clips that we have handy here. Here we go.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's a lean. That's a lean. All right, here we go. Another one.
I think the second one. Excuse me.
There's always that sudden movement. All right, one more. Oh, good God. You like, oh my goodness. You're the leaning tower of Gorman.
I'm the leaning tower of Fort Pisa. Sorry, Corinne.
Hey, Charles, say lean with it, rock with it.
I lean with it.
Lean with it, fart with it. Lean with it, fart with it. Say it.
Lean with it, fart with it.
All right, all right.
It's the fart. It's the fart.
Yeah, Charles. Yeah, so it's all right. But kind of get easy back there.
I'm not farting.
I know. No.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, Jake. My friends are wanted to stop. So, anyways, I hope you're doing good, Jake. It's good talking with you. Hopefully, I hear from Burger King by the end of this weekend or sometime beginning this week. I'm doing good. I'm hanging out with my friends, Thomas, Corinne, who's like a sister to me, and my best friend, and one of my best friends, Colin, who's like a brother to me. So, been best friends since college.
I love it, Charles. Well, you have a hell of a day, all right?
You too, man. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Gorman.
Hi, I'm Charles, and I'm going to talk about Spider-Man and movies and sports and video games and maybe hot chicks.
Charles Gorman, everybody. Yo, Holmes, Charles, apply to more jobs. Eric Kelly, just a heads up, if you haven't heard, it's probably not good. New Q, you're allowed to apply to other jobs. Yeah, this idea that Charles is only allowed to do one job at a time is asinine. He's just using Burger King as like, well, I can't do anything else until I hear back. Like, you could keep applying, man. You don't apply to one college. You apply to a bunch of colleges. You got to have a safety school. Guess what? Burger King There's only one college that you've applied to, Charles. You need more. Man. Dave Briga says, Charles, you need to learn how to prepare your own meals. It's true. PA, Charles, the fart legend. Jay, Charles needs to find a job that actually will hire him. Agreed. I think he's working on it. You know, the reality with Gorman is he wants a job, but how badly does he want the job? That's what we don't have the answer to. How badly does he want it? We know he needs it. But how badly does he actually want the job? That's the question. Dylan says, what happens first? Jets first win or Charles gets a job? I mean, I would hope Charles gets a job considering that he's got from June 21st till September 7th for the Jets to potentially get their first win. Unbelievable.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Charles. Unbelievable. Charleston Jets Rube. He'd lose weight if he cooked for himself. I'm not anticipating him losing weight. I'm trying to get him a job first here. Yeah, we got to do one thing at a time around here. Apparently, Charles farted in today's call. Let's take a listen.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Charles. I don't hear it there, Gator. I don't think that was a fart. Patriots 12 wants Charles to starve until he finds a job. I think that's a little ridiculous, Patriots 12. Just like typically your calls, such as wearing Patriots gear one day and then Dolphins gear another day. Speaking of calls, back to the phone lines we go. Last chance to get in here. Raffle entries are +2. Final show before Monday's raffle, so take advantage. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. David T.
I've got my eye on you. Checkmate me, full screen, bitch. Fireball, whiskey time, David motherfucking T.
Hi, Jake.
Hello, David.
I still have faith in Charles and Bobby. I think things are going to work out probably when they least expect it. But yeah, I agree with you, Jake. Don't try to put all your eggs in one basket. Apply for as many jobs as you can, and maybe the one that's meant to be will come up. When Charles least expects it. But I do want to talk about. I wish Purple Belt Mike the best of luck. And the other day, you had said that he was going to be operated by the Islanders doctor. Well,
correct.
Well, since I'm down here in Florida, I have had 2 hip replacements, and it's in Clearwater, sports orthopedic surgeons, and they do work on the Phillies and the Toronto Blue Jays. And, you go in the office and there's a whole bunch of pictures of players that they did surgery on and everything. And then my brother, I think July 10th is his first operation. He has connections, and this person referred a doctor that works on the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Tampa Bay Lightning. And so my theory is, the owners of the teams, they need good doctors to work on these players, because there's a lot of, it's a business and there's a lot of money invested, and they need them on the ice and on the field.
Look, I think Purple Belt Mike's in good hands. I believe in the Islanders doctor. I believe in Mike's work ethic. He's going to attack the rehab with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. So I'm very bullish on Mike's chances of getting back to the old PBM.
Well, I think the one thing Mike has going for him, he's already in really good shape. He's quite active and everything. So I really believe that has a lot to do with with that situation.
You believe in PBM's recovery?
Oh, absolutely. I think
Hell yeah.
he's going to thrive. Yep. Yep, for sure. And I was going to do a take on Corley and everything, but you guys explained it, and unless he does well in training camp and preseason, maybe I think they should give up on him. But so the last thing is, I keep hearing about. I think I was listening to your show last night when I got home from work, and Aurora was on, and she was talking about taking to her dad possibly to the Tampa game. And I'm like, man, I love hearing this, and all that kind of stuff. And I know the one thing she said, her dad's a little concerned about hurricane season. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I mean, you are in the possibility of hurricane season and everything, but we've been pretty, since I've been down here, we've had a few hurricanes come through, but we've been pretty lucky. I mean, I'm not a weatherman. I can't predict what it's going to be like, but I'd love to see as many people in Tampa as possible.
The more the merrier. And look, no one knows the weather this far out, but I think rain or shine, the Asmaniacs are going to find a way, David T. I really believe that.
Yes, I completely have faith in the Asmaniacs. Good people.
Yes, just like you, David T.
Thank you.
I got my Iron J. I hope you like my Jets take. They call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Yeah. Super chat from Metal Man in the raffle +244.
There you go. Don't move.
Oh shit, you're not kidding.
Do you think Jonathan Taze will attend the joint New York Jets, Winnipeg Jets picnic this summer? Love it. Love the Francesa callback. It's one of the all-time great pranks. Yeah, I do always look forward to the annual Jets to Jet picnic. Back in the day, you had the Ranger to Ranger picnic. We know about the kinship between Henrik Lundqvist and Yu Darvish. The annual Giant to Giant picnic was super popular. Eli and Buster Posey had a great relationship. All-timer. Snowball says, I feel very close to David T for some reason. Absolutely. Great question from Charleston Rube. How much for a beach belly flop? Okay, chat. How many raffle tickets should Charleston Jets Rube earn if he calls in and does a beach-style belly flop? That's the question. Now, a normal beach call, or normal pool call, excuse me, is 2. Right? Regular call 1. We said the beach calls, a pool call would be 2. If he does a belly flop in ocean, I'm assuming, right? Because he's saying beach. Or is it, good question from Adam, is it an ocean beach or a lake beach? Dave Brigger says, I'm not interested in seeing men do belly flops. My initial reaction was 5, but I defer to the chat here. Gary says 5, but if we hear a smack, 10. Maybe 5, but an opportunity to earn more points subject to approval from the chat. Charleston Jet Troop says ocean. Also, PBM not realizing that the jet-to-jet picnic is an old bit from a Mike Francesa prank call is incredible. Go on YouTube, Mike. You're on YouTube right now. You're watching the show. And type in when you're done watching this show, Mike Francesa, prank call, Giants picnic. It will come right up. It's an all-timer. Charleston Jet Troop is upset that Dave Brigger doesn't want to see him belly flop. He writes in, come on, Brigger. Love you, man. Let me ask someone who knows a thing or two about having a belly for his thoughts on the matter. Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in right now with the Beast. Beast, how many raffle tickets for a belly flop?
El Cinco.
5.
But if you want to do a 450, and I've seen guys who done 450s before. The great Too Cold Scorpio. Anyone who remembers that name, the great Too Cold Scorpio, Rob Van Dam, C. Corses, and many, many more stars. Hey, go watch. You'll see the difference. Now, you know that sign? Gotta rock and roll.
What's on the agenda today, Beast?
I just had chicken.
What kind of chicken?
Yeah, good old fat. Got me the nice spicy chicken. You know, some good, and you know what goes good with some spicy chicken? A man sauce. Man power, baby. This is man power. Anyone who can't do man power, you're all yellow because you ain't got the chicken.
Now, Beast, can you run around? Can you run around the global studio headquarters as a chicken, like this? Buck, 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 buck. Gator, you are so welcome. The things I do for you. Ladies and gentlemen, then that is a call from Beast right there. And that gets him in the raffle. For 3. +2 on all regular calls. Rick Kent with an observation on my program. He says this has become the fat guys eating show. Is anyone out there not fat that could call in to disprove Rick Kent's theory on what the show has become? Because he might be right. Jeffrey says this weekend gets better and better. Mr. Flowers wrote in, peak male performance. Adam writes in, I got an inflatable pool ordered. It's on, including my pants. Who will have the best pool call this summer on the show? I think last year, Neil or PBM had that honor. Neil had a phenomenal pencil-like dive into his pool. Mike jumped into a green algae-infested pool. So far this summer, I'd say the top pool call has been probably Snowball. But I could be missing one or two. Blast off. Snowball's pool was algae infested, so that's why I give him the nod. Ladies and gentlemen, Jets Johnny is not fat, and he is called in. Hey, Jets Johnny.
Jake, that's all I wanted to do, man. I just wanted to prove the great Rick Kent wrong, man. I'm definitely not fat. Allen Fingers himself. Also, have we checked on Snowball yet? Do we know if he's okay? Did he make it out of that algae-infested pool all right?
Now, he did Jets Worldwide last night, I saw. I tuned in for a segment of the program, and his skin did not look like he was Incredible Hulk yet, so I think it's a good sign.
All right. That's good. That's good to know, man. Because I've done that one time, bro. I jumped in a pool like that was a little bit of algae, and I was sick for like a whole week. And I saw that pool. I was like, dude, this guy is crazy, man. Jumping full force right into that thing, man. So shout out to Snowball. F Malachi Corley, he can hop off the team. We don't need him. I don't like him. I don't like his attitude. I don't like anything about that guy ever since he got on this team. So I'm cool if we cut Corley. You know, I don't know about no wing T like PBM was talking about. Like we're gonna run an 1880s offense or something like that. I don't know what's going on with that. But you know, I didn't have much today, man. But I do have an announcement if you don't mind me making an announcement real quick, Jake.
Go ahead. Hopefully it's just a good announcement.
Oh, this is a great announcement. So we're gonna have a new Jets fan and a new Asmaniac, bro. We got little guy on the way.
Wow. That is not a good announcement. That is a great, spectacular announcement. Let's go.
Thank you,
Give it
thank
up
you.
for
Yeah,
Jets Johnny.
yeah, we got a little. We're hoping, the wife's hoping for a girl. I'm hoping for another boy. So we'll see how that goes. We don't quite know yet.
This will be your second child?
This will be my second child. Yes, sir.
Nice,
Yes, sir.
Jets
So
Johnny. That's awesome. Congratulations.
I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, so we'll have a new Asmaniac on the way here pretty soon in December. So hopefully we can bring. I feel bad calling it, but we don't know. You know what I mean? Into a winning season and start its life off on the right foot. But that's all I really got today, Jake. So I appreciate you, man. I hope you have a good one and get well, PBM.
Love it. Jets Johnny, congratulations. And of course, you know what needs to be played.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
Hell yeah, Jets Johnny. Let's go. Another Asmaniac coming into the universe. That's awesome. Congrats, Johnny. Love that. I love everyone in the chat before I even played that. How many people wrote congrats on the sex? Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people. Amazing. 4 people. And of course, Beast always on time. He just wrote congrats on the sex. All right, last chance to get in here. We're an hour, 16 minutes in. Appreciate everyone tuned in here. I know it's a little slow right now, but Cimini gave us an interesting story on ESPN to talk about, so appreciated. So that is good stuff. Let's see. Beast wrote in, I ain't fat. I'm just an ass kicker machine with a fireball temper. So, Beast, you don't consider yourself a fat man. Noted. We appreciate you, Beast. Now, the chat might disagree with you, Beast. Just want to give you a heads up. That could be a controversial take. Patriots 12 writes in, did you know Snoop, Taylor Swift, and a lot of other people have worn other teams' shirts while claiming a team? Patriots 12. We do not care about Taylor Swift, who was not a football fan until she started dating a football player. Let's be real. She grew up in Pennsylvania, so I guess she was technically, like she said, she was an Eagles fan. She wasn't living and dying with the Eagles like she now does with the Chiefs because her boyfriend is one of the most famous football players in the league. This is nowhere near the same thing as you calling into, first off, a Jet YouTube show, wearing Patriots gear, and then claiming to be a big Pats fan, being exposed on that, and then calling in to the same show wearing Dolphins gear. So you're not even a real Pats fan. At least have the guts to still be a Pats fan. This is not even close to being the same thing. All right. Mr. Bozy just sent me something that is worth showing on the air here. So I'm going to quickly email this to myself so I can play it because, oh my God, this is great. Whoever did this, you're brilliant. But yes, Patriots 12, back to me ripping on you. You don't understand the difference, which I can't. Thunderlips, again with Pats 12. Wait, what? He called wearing a Dolphin shirt? Yes. The man called in wearing a Dolphin shirt, and I destroyed him. And he tried to argue that there was nothing wrong with that. Oh, I got the shirt when I was in Miami. Cool, bro. I go to Boston usually once a year to visit my friends from school that are there. You're not going to see me wearing Patriots gear or Red Sox gear. I hate them. Not even close to being the same thing. Not even close. The ultimate fraud. Hit the like button if you are just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats, always cut the line. +2 on all entries. Last chance to get in Monday's raffle. Joe Namath signed football. Darrell Rivas signed football. Wayne Corbett signed jersey. Kevin Mawai signed jersey. Appreciate all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, one of you out there is really funny. If you go on Yelp and look up Alden Shoes, you'll see a review that was left 23 days ago by a Christopher S. What can I say about Alden shoes? Ignore the shoes behind him. Those are law books. Those are law books.
Are you an actual lawyer or what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer.
Asmaniacs unite when the beast is in trouble, so you better call Bonesy. Ignore the shoes behind him. Those are law books. Those are law books.
Shout out to whichever one of you wrote that. That's amazing. That's legendary. Whoever Christopher S is, if you come forward, we'll give you some raffle tickets for that. I guess we'd have to take Christopher S at his word that this is the Christopher S that wrote this, but this is epic. Love that. Well, we got the best community, best listeners. Not even close. Amazing. Let's see. Eric Kelly says, when Patriots 12 called in the Dolphin shirt, that was an all-time troll moment. Yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous. He should just call him wearing Bills gear his next call at that point and just lean into the bit. But he was dead serious. The big fella with a super chat. Jake, can you wish my beautiful wife a happy birthday? She's awesome and will be coming to Tampa. Happy birthday to Mrs. Big Fella. Can't wait for both of you to join us in Tampa. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. Big Fella, you're one of the greats. I can only imagine that your wife is spectacular as well. And here's what we're going to do. Because when it's someone's birthday around here, we got a guy for that. Ladies and gentlemen, here to sing happy birthday to Mrs. Big Fella is none other than...
I'm ready for that, Jake. I didn't know it was her birthday. I met her in person, remember?
That's right. She came to the Texans outing.
Yep, we had a great time. Okay, can you put me full screen, then I'll do it. Okay, hello, Mr. Big Fella. I love you, and I love you, Big Fella, too. This is for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mrs. Big Fella. Happy birthday to you. And I hope you have a great day. And I also think you're very beautiful. How's that?
Tremendous. The jazz hands, I've never seen something so pretty.
Well, remember that movie? What was that movie with the cheerleaders in it?
I don't know, Bobby. There's a lot of movies with cheerleaders in it.
Well, Spirit Fingers. Oh, what was that movie? Get It On or something? Spirit Fingers. Yeah, the boys took advantage of that pretty good.
Hey, now.
All right. No, I saw that right away. I called in. I wanted to say happy birthday.
I appreciate you you stepping up and calling in right away.
I appreciate you having me on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye, everybody.
The great Bobby Midnight.
Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers. Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers, taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Bobby and Charles are damn sexy. Damn sexy. Let's party. Let's party. Party. Let's Bobby and Charles are hot and sweaty. Hot and sweaty. Let's party. Let's party. Party.
Also, the movie I believe you were referring to, Bobby, is Bring It On. All right, let's do one last call here, and then I'll watch the Yankees hopefully not lose a series to the crappy Orioles. Adam is too cool is next. Hello, Adam.
Hey, so with Malachi Corley, I really hope that...
Nice shirt, Adam, by the way.
Thank
Tremendous.
you. Appreciate it. It's the summer. It's 91 down here in Maryland, and getting ready to do that belly flop at some point once the pool arrives. So that'll be cool.
Love that.
Yeah. I hope we just don't like drop him and not get anything in return. I feel like he's got to have some kind of trade value. There was some potential out there for him, and maybe it didn't click with the Jets. We have a history of these disgruntled wide receivers, but I just would hate to see him join a team that we're going to face week 1 because I could totally see that happening. I could see him join the Patriots as well, and don't drop him for nothing. I hope that we can at least get a 2028 7th rounder for him rather than just let him go. But I guess we'll see.
I think you probably could get something for him. I don't know if it's going to be that little that you're talking about because we are still talking about a guy going into his 2nd year only. But
yeah,
I mean, you're not going to get a lot for him because teams are going to be like, wait a second, you guys traded up 7 spots for him, the first pick of the 3rd round. You already want to get rid of him? Like, that's a red flag.
Yeah, well, I guess the red flag was just the valuation, I suppose. But I also just think like every player has a chance to really redeem whatever reputation they had in terms of the old regime, offensively challenged. I think everyone's got a shot at it, right? So I guess to your point as well, like if he can't redeem himself, then I bet you other folks in the around the league probably feel the same way. But for his sake, I hope he can at least ride out his rookie contract because I felt he had a lot of talent. He got a lot of production in college. It's very interesting what happens when players get to the next level and doesn't seem to be working out. But he did get into the end zone. He just forgot the ball. So maybe he can work on that next time.
Yeah, I mean, just how about score a touchdown and then do your celebration? I never understood that celebration either, especially in his case. He's a rookie. That would have been his first ever NFL touchdown. Wouldn't you want the ball?
Exactly. There was something that just, I don't know. I mean, the only thing worse would have been if it fumbled into the end zone. I mean, that's happened too to the Jets in the last 15 years. So, worse. I mean, in the end, it was a very Jets-like move, and I just thought, I hope that there's more to him because if he does have that kind of yak ability, there's got to be something that he can do. And it is interesting that kick returning or punt returning wasn't on the option because you'd think an evasive person might have some talent in that space. Maybe the second punt returner, the second kick returner. As an option. So I hope that they'll get more value from him. I hope that he can still stay on the team and earn his way on like everybody else. But I just hope like this isn't a completely botched, like this is one of the worst picks if it doesn't pan out.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, Denzel Mims was the worst pick, 2nd round pick. Elijah Moore, 2nd round. Like this was Joe Douglas's MO, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, Corley can't even get snaps. I mean, that's really sad. Mims had plenty of snaps, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Mims also he also had plenty of snaps because the team was so awful in 2020.
Yeah, so I guess thank goodness we're better than that. But with the Yankees as well, I hope that we can turn this thing around. It's astounding how much they rely on Judge.
Yeah, it's a June swoon right now, and that's the thing. Like, Judge is obviously Judge, but he's gone through a natural slump because he wasn't going to hit 400 all year. And he still had a home run last night, got on base 4 times, and they still lost because no one else had a big hit out once they got to the 3rd run. So that's the problem.
We're really lucky we're in a weak division. So
yeah, 100%.
We'll manage through it. All right, I'll let you get to that game.
Adam, appreciate you.
You get the fuck out.
Love that shirt from Adam too. Tremendous. What a show. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Join the Patreon if you haven't. If you want information about Tampa, that's where you'll find it on the Discord. We have a whole tab created for each game. We have discounted hotel rooms. We have discounted group tickets, info on the events, which, by the way, are free for the happy hour, and then you pay for a tailgate ticket. So I'm excited. We got a lot of big things coming. I want to thank the audience that tunes in, either live or after the fact, most after the fact. So grateful for that. Hope everyone enjoys their Saturday. This is likely the last show till Monday. Should I get some inspiration or you never know with the Jets, there's some breaking news. Be on the lookout for a potential Sunday show. But if not, enjoy the rest of your weekend all. And I end the show with a clip that I feel needs to be played on a day like today. And you might be saying, what clip is this man going to play? And the answer is, I actually don't know. I'm just stalling until I find something that I think might be funny. And I think I have the answer. So ladies and gentlemen, enjoy.
First, I got to ask you about the shop first. Try to put in the password Patreon. It's not working.
The password's actually Chicken Soup 2024. Rick got it right.
It's not working.
Make sure you put all caps for Chicken Soup 2024.
I did put it in all caps.
It's actually all lowercase then.
It's not working, Jake. I don't know what the hell it is.
My merch person just told me they changed the password again. Let me get it for you.
Okay.
Ask her for the soup recipe.
She's not in the mood right now. She's talking to my dad.
By the way, the password is Dennis Gorman if you want to try that.
Is it all caps lock?
It's Dennis is all caps, Gorman is all lowercase.
It's not working.
Hey, I just got off the phone with my merch guy. It's chicken soup for life. Try that, all caps.
It's not working either.
Are you serious? I'm gonna have to fire this guy.
Chicken is spelled bleh.
How do you spell bleh? I think you're typing too fast.
Say, please try again.
This is unbelievable. All right, well, message me on the Discord later, and I'll get you in there when I figure this out. Charles, try one more password if you can. All caps. I want WANT chicken soup.
Say, please try again.
God damn. I'm sorry, man.
Don't worry about it, Jake. You know what? I'll probably come on another time, okay? Don't worry about it.
Look, I'm going to turn around.
Keep mooning us. There we go.
No. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I want to apologize for yesterday. I was trying to show off the name on my jersey, but my desk chair doesn't swivel. So I got up and I showed off my butt.
Is Brock Purdy going to run for his life on the opener? Yeah! He's going to die. Let's go. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go.
He's gonna die.